Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. I'm back with our good friend Dushyanth Sridhar. It segues into the next question that I have. There are many versions of Ramayanas that are there. 𝗤𝗡𝗙, 𝗠𝗢𝗙, and then of course Tamil 𝗑𝗲𝗏𝗂𝗡𝗏, the original one from Valmiki. One observation that I have read, and I'm not sure this is true or not, but I'm going to run it by you because you've done a lot of study into this, is that when Valmiki was or written or just about to write or had written Ramayana, there was a conversation between him and Hanuman. And Hanuman showed him one leaf. That was the entire Ramayana, just one leaf. And Valmiki sees that and reads it. It is so perfect that he starts crying. What do I do with this whole epitome that I have written? And Hanuman just calmly tears down his thing. It says, now it is your Ramayana that will exist. How true is this one?
Okay, so there are many parts to your question. Let me take this last part first. This version that Hanuman wrote one, and of course Valmiki relishing it and tearing it, has a certain context to it, stating that Hanuman, despite being such a great Vidwan, wanted Valmiki's Ramayana to shine. That could be the message. But personally, in my limited reading of the Ramayana and commentaries and whatever little I've learned from my acharyas, I haven't come across this version. But this concept of presenting a large mammoth work in one verse has existed. Be it for the Ramayana or be it for the Mahabharata, because later acharyas thought that if I have to make people read, there has to be one shloka that brings the essence that will be intriguing and that will make people think, and they will go through the original in the full form. So that could have been the thought process, but I haven't genuinely come across this version of Hanuman writing one shloka and Valmiki tearing it. But your other part, the first part to your question as to there are many versions to the Ramayana. Yes, majorly in the north of India, north of the Vindhyas, especially in states like Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Haryana, some large parts of Rajasthan. So this one book came like a storm, which is 𝗠𝗢𝗙 ji's Ramcharitmanas, could be roughly between 500 and 600 years old. And any village that you go to, there are people who can recite those chaupais, those dohas of Ramcharitmanas absolutely from memory. So that's how they are attached to Ramcharitmanas, like how Sikhs revere the very book of Guru Granth Sahib. They see that the book is the God for them. In Sanatana Dharma, especially north of India, Ramcharitmanas is given that kind of importance. And just not north of India. See, though I'm a Tamil speaking Bharatiya, born in Bangalore, lived in Bombay and Rajasthan, I can say that I have read the Ramcharitmanas with immense love and respect. So there's no doubt. So there is Ramcharitmanas to the north of India. When we go state after state, we have Mulla Ramayanam and Ranganatha Ramayanam in Telugu. In Tamil, we have the very famous 𝗑𝗲 Ramayanam, one of the earliest transcreations in the Bharatiya languages besides Sanskritam, is 𝗑𝗲 Ramayanam, written about 1100 to 1200 years back in Tamil Nadu, in Tamil. Then we have 𝗤𝗡𝗏 Ramayanam by 𝗠𝗢𝗙𝗏 𝗏𝗂𝗡𝗏 in Malayalam. That's about 500 years old. Then we have Kumara Valmiki's Ramayanam and Kuvempu's Ramayanam in Kannada. We have one Ramayanam, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗪, in Marathi. We have Kritibasas in Bengali. We have Jaganmohans in Odia. We have Bhanubhaktacharya's in Nepali. We have Kakavin Ramayanam in Javanese from the archipelago nation, which is older to the 𝗑𝗲 Ramayanam from Indonesia. We have a Persian Ramayana. We have a Jain Ramayana. We have plenty of poems and dramas written based on Ramayana theme by various poets in the last 2000 plus years. So there's one Janaki Haranam, if I'm right, from Kumaradasas from Sri Lanka. So we have many Ramayanams, and we have Ramayanams within the Puranas as well, Sri. We have the fourth Amsha of Vishnu Puranam talking about Ramayanam. We have the Navamaskandham of Srimad Bhagavatam that talks about Ramayana. We have Ramayana and Agni Purana, Padma Purana, Skandam, Vayu. There are some parts in Garuda Purana, some parts in Varaha Purana, some parts in Devi Bhagavatam. So we have Ramayana and the Puranas as well. And then we have Ramayana presented thrice within the Mahabharatam. So in Vyasacharya's Mahabharatam, Ramayana has been narrated thrice, once in Vanaparva, I think once in Shanti Parva, and once in Anushasana Parva, if I'm right. So we have Ramayana delineation within the Mahabharata. We have Ramayana references and descriptions within the Puranas. We have many Sanskrit poems and dramas that are based on Ramayana theme. We have Ramayana in the regional languages. We have Ramayana depicted through temple architecture. So Ramayana spread everywhere. But, B-U-T, but in capital letters. Our Purvacharyas, be it of the three important schools of philosophy, Advaita, Visishtadvaita, and Dvaita Siddhanta, of Adi Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and Madhvacharya respectively, the Acharyas who have come before them or majorly after them have rightfully believed that if at all one work of Ramayana has to be considered as the Mukhya Pramanam, the foremost authentic Grantham, it is Valmiki's Srimad Ramayana, which is housed in roughly about 24,000 shlokas. It could be here and there. And they've been categorized as Balakandam, Ayodhya-kandam, Aranya-kandam, Kishkindha-kandam, Sundara-kandam, Yuddha-kandam, Uttara-kandam. We have 7 kandas and roughly 24,000 shlokas with various commentaries. We have had many commentaries of the past to the Valmiki's Ramayana explaining the nuances in detail, but they seem to have been lost. So between in the 12th century, we had a great Acharya Varya called Swami Periyavachan Pillai, who lived in Dakshina Bharata. He chose certain shlokas of Valmiki Ramayana and gave a detailed note of it. He gave it in a language which is a judicious combination of Tamil and Sanskritam. It is called Manipravalam. And he chose, to my memory, about 30, 40 or 50 shlokas from the Ramayana and has presented detailed commentaries of them. It is called Tani Shloki Vyakhyanam, which came in the 12th century. Then in the later first half of the 15th century, we had 𝗪𝗡𝗙 Govindaraja, who gave us Bhushana, the Vyakhyana, followed by Maheshwara Tirtha, who gave us Tattva-deepika. Then we had the very beautiful Vyakhyanam called Tilaka by Nagesha Bhatta. These are 3 very prominent Vyakhyanas. Then we have had one Vyakhyanam called as Kataka by Madhava Yogin. Then one very beautiful Vyakhyanam commentary called as Dharmakutam by Trayambakamakhil. And last we had Vamshidhara Shivasahaya's Shironmani. So these are all the commentaries to the Ramayana. But Valmiki's Ramayana is the original, is the right one, because it was written by Valmiki during the times of Rama, taught by Valmiki to the sons of Rama called Lava and Kusha. Lava and Kusha, who were not cognizant that they were singing right before their father Rama. Rama heard this, accepted that version, and said that this has to be spread across the world. So Valmiki writing the biography of Rama, Rama's son singing it in the presence of Rama, and finally Rama approving of it, gives it the highest authenticity. So all our Purvacharyas who have come in the Vaidika Parampara have treated Valmiki's Ramayana as the original. But where do the other Ramayanams fall? To answer this question in a very succinct, simple manner, whatever tallies with Valmiki Ramayanam's storyline, with the little deviations and descriptions which are not tangentially opposite to what Valmiki says, has been accepted. Whatever is completely not found in Valmiki's Ramayana but is written as just something that suits the society, has been read but not treated in its original. For example, Valmiki gives a simple abduction scenario. He says that Sita probably misunderstood that the person who has come is a sannyasi. Then later when Ravana pulls her, uses her hair braid, ties it with one hand and lifts her lap with the other and carries her. This is how that abduction happens. This is what Valmiki presents. But when it came to the Tamil version, the Kamba Ramayana, he says that Ravana did not touch Sita. Rather, he took the entire hermitage along with Sita to Lanka. It may seem like a beautiful script for a movie maker, because you can use all the VFX for the person to take the entire house and go. You can make hundreds of crores out of it. But Valmiki has been a very, very simple presenter. He's an honest journalist. He reports what he sees, though honesty and journalism can't go in one sentence, but in those days you had honesty and journalism in one line. So he presented things as is. He was not bothered about what will Sree and Dushyanth be discussing in 2024. He was honest. He was a Maharishi. He wanted to present Ramayana as he saw, as it happened. So he said he abducted Sita this way. He had no thoughts about what will the society think if a third person touches Sita. So all these thoughts weren't there. But for later poets, when they wrote during the 5th century, 8th century, 10th century, 12th century, they had to take into consideration the sensitivities of the people. So if at all they had written in the Tamil version or Hindi version that Ravana touched her, then the society would have created a big demonstration march stating that how can a foreign person come and touch Sita? So to avoid all this, they gave some versions. All that has great bhakti and great Tamil grammar and Avadhi grammar and all of that in Hindi, Avadhi in Awadh language. But when it comes to the original version, nothing like the Valmiki Ramayana. That is why Ramanujacharya 1000 years back stayed in the foothills of Tirumala Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh to learn the nuances of the Ramayana from his uncle called 𝗟𝗍 𝗤𝗎𝗓 for 1 year. The teacher used to come all the way down, trekking, teach his student and go back. So 365 days he did. And he learned 18 rahasyas, 𝗤𝗙𝗐𝗍𝗆 कलार्थः भवभयं सद्वृत्तम् आचार्यवत्ता गायत्र्यर्थः हितमुचितपरं तत्त्वार्थांश्च पञ्च कार्पण्यं शेषभावः घटकविधिफलं पारतन्त्र्यं तथा तत् काष्ठाकालः प्रतीक्षा वसति पदमिति प्राहुः अष्टादशार्थान्. There is another shloka, vidya sarvapi bahyatyajanamapi sakala saddharma आध्यात्मिकार्थाः अर्थानां पंचकं रघुपति परतत्वं पुमर्थः शेषत्वं पारतन्त्र्यं घटकविधिफलं tat avadhi gatitvam. So there are 2 shlokas that describe the 18 rahasyas. So the point is, many versions of Ramayana all need to be read, all need to be respected, but authentic is Valmiki Ramayana, nothing close to it.
Thank you so much, Dushyanth. I have a follow-up question on this before we go to a third question. There is a place called Tiru Valmiki. This is a suburb of Chennai. Today it's actually in the heart of Chennai. We all mispronounce it now as Tiruvanmiyur. And it is believed that Valmiki worshipped Maruteshwarar, the deity, the Murti there, before doing something. I don't know exactly the details. How true is this? Because if that is true, this would be the oldest temple in India, because it would have to exist, I don't know how many thousands of years. We are going to come to the date in just one moment. We also stay on. Over to you, Dushyanth.
Okay, so when it comes to Maharshis, Sree, first of all, we need to understand Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana and Mahabharata largely trace the biography of the rulers. Rama was the to-be king of Ayodhya, later the king of Ayodhya. He was a Kshatriya. When it comes to Mahabharata as well, we follow the route or the path taken by the Pandavas, who eventually became the rulers of Hastinapura. So this path taken by Maharshis is generally not so much followed. It was always about the rulers. Maharshis were a part of it. So Vasishtha, Vamadeva, Katyayana, Suyagnya, they all became a part of Rama's biography. Similarly, Vyasacharya, Dhaumya, the other Maharshis were a part of Pandavas, like how Gargacharya and Sandipani became a part of Krishna's life. So though they were Maharshis of great splendor and valor, they had to take one back seat. So when we come to, as much as we know the route taken by Rama, so Rama was born in Ayodhya, he learnt under Vasishtha, he went on an internship for 6 days with Vishwamitra Maharshi in parts of Bihar and the current day West Bengal. Then he went all the way to the current day Nepal, where he met Sita and was married to Sita, then headed back to Ayodhya. Then he took his 14 years of journey across Madhya Pradesh from Chitrakoot, came to Sutikshna, Sharabhanga, Agastya, Valmiki, and then reached Maharashtra, then crossed Kishkindha region, which is Karnataka, then came to Tamil Nadu, then built a setu, then went to Lanka, and then came back to Ayodhya. So we have a clear path of Rama. So is the case with the Pandavas. But with Maharshis, we don't have that clear path. But Maharshis were generally wanderers. They would never stay by a 3-bedroom apartment or a villa and would never stay in one place. They would go forest after forest, place after place. So it is said in the ancient Tamil literature, because Sanskritam is a very ancient language, a very beautiful language. So is every other Bharatiya language. And Tamil has a very rich literary past. And it is one of the very oldest languages. And when we look at Tamil, the language, its history, and the allied literature, we come across one of the verses called the 𝗤𝗬𝗍𝗖𝗻. 𝗍𝗖𝗻 in Tamil means 7,000 verses. And we come across a detailed account of how Valmiki, the Maharshi, traveled to Dakshina Bharatam. We have a mention that he traveled to Dakshina Bharatam. Could he be a different Valmiki will be a question, because like how, if I'm going to hunt for Sree Iyer on LinkedIn, there will be 2-3 Sree Iyers. But 𝗤𝗬𝗍𝗖𝗻 clearly states that the one who compiled and composed the Ramayana and presented it to Rama is the same one who traveled to Dakshina Bharatam. So the account clearly states it was no other Valmiki but this Valmiki. It doesn't say there existed no other Valmiki, but the Valmiki who came to Dakshina Bharatam was this Valmiki. So we have two references in our Sthala Puranas. One, Valmiki who comes in the Bhrigu-kulam. He comes in the Bhrigu-kulam. He was a Bhargava. This finds a mention in Uttarakandam as well, I think in the penultimate Sarga. So he came with the image of his Kula Devata, family deity. In Tamil, it is referred to as Kula Devam. In Hindi, Kula Devata. So that family deity, that family Devata Murti, he carried from Uttara Bharatam to Dakshina Bharatam. And incidentally, the first word in Ramayana is Konvasmin Sampratam Loke Gunavan. So what does Gunam here means? Generally, Gunam means quality. But here, the meaning given by Govindaraja, the commentator, is Guna means Saushilyam Ityartaha. Saushilyam means Mahato Mandaihi Sa Nirandrena Swabhavaha. When water flows from higher level to lower level, when it's after flowing to the lower level, water doesn't ever feel, oh, I was in that state of higher level, just for you I've come down. No, it doesn't have that superiority feeling. Same is the case with Paramatma. Just because he's in Vaikuntha and has to live with us in Bangalore or Chennai, he doesn't feel. He feels that he's amidst us. So this quality is called Saushilyam. Saushilyam means that accessibility or ability to move very equally and very friendly with peers. Now, this is like water. Water is neer. So, in Tamil also, water means neer. So, this Kula Devata which Valmiki carried from Uttara Bharatam to Dakshina Bharatam is called Jaladhi Varna, or in Tamil as Neer Vannan. So, this Devata, this Murti, whom Valmiki revered as his Kula Devata of Narayana, whom he revered as Jaladhi Varna or Neer Vannan, is worshipped in Chennai itself, in a place very close to Pallavaram, called as Tiru Neermalai. So yes, there Bhagavan is called Neervannan, and there is a Sannidhi for Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, and for Valmiki as well. So that is one connection. So Valmiki, who wrote the Ramayana, presented to Rama through his sons, is the one who traveled all the way to Dakshina Bharatam. It is also said that he worshipped Shiva, Mahadeva, as the one who can cure our Bhavaroham. Bhavaroham is, Acharyas believe that our very existence itself is a disease. It is not about diseases in our existence. They say our existence itself is a disease. So Bhavarogam. So that Bhavarogam needs a medicine. Medicine is Aushadham. Dawai. जैसे कि हिंदी में बोलते हैं दवाई, औषधम in Sanskritam. In Tamil, medicine is called marundu. Since Mahadeva himself is the marundu, the medicine to Bhavarogam, he is called Marundu Ishvara, Marundishvara. And the locality where Valmiki stayed. See, in Tamil, being a very ancient language, there are certain things which Sanskritam has as a language which Tamil doesn't have. See, Sanskritam has this letter Sha, Purusha, Hayagriva, Ha, Hayagriva, Purusha, Sha, Sha, Ha. These letters are not found in Tamil. So in ancient Tamil, instead of the word Purusha, they will say Purudan. Likewise, instead of saying Hayagriva, they will say Ayagriva. Instead of saying Ahalya, they will say Agaligai. So similarly, Valmiki is not the name given by the Tamil writers. They call him Valmiki. In fact, Kamban says, Vangarum Padam Niti Vagutta Valmiki Enban 𝗤𝗙𝗙 𝗢𝗙 𝗪𝗚𝗡𝗙𝗪 Angavan Pugalanda Natti. So Valmiki, Van, V-A-N. You can make it easy, Van, V-A-N. So Van. So the place where Valmiki is said to have worshipped Shiva as Marundishwara is named after the Maharshi. So it is Valmiki-ur, Vanmiyur. So it's called Tiruvalmiyur in Tamil. So Tiruvalmiyur, incidentally, to commemorate that, has one sub-locality called Valmiki Nagar. So Valmiki Nagar in Tiruvalmiyur and Pallavaram related Tirunirmalai, where Valmiki's Kuladevata is related to the same Valmiki. The Sthala Puranas concur with what Bhogar in the great Siddha Purusha states. So there is a reference that Valmiki has come to Dakshina Bharatam. We don't have an exact date. Oh, he came on 15th August 1947. Aisa kuch date nahi hai. But he has come to Dakshina Bharatam. Why Ramayana doesn't make a mention is Ramayana seriously follows the path of Rama. It doesn't follow the path of Valmiki, where Valmiki went, what did he do, which year he went, all of that. But Sthala Puranas agree with it.
Thank you so much. Yes, he was there, but date unknown. I understand that. Now let's go to the third question.